Mechanical keyboards provide a more satisfying typing experience than regular keyboards with rubber domes, and they can be customized to fit your individual needs. In today's video, I'm going to show you everything you want to know about the Kemove K68, a great option not only for the gamers, but also for creative professionals who want a satisfying typing experience and a keyboard that can be customized to their liking. It's also a great value for the price. We will check the design, connectivity, customization and features of this good-looking keyboard, so stay tuned. But before we dive in, let's check the contents of the box. Here we got a transparent keyboard cover, the K68 keyboard itself, a quick start guide, a USB-C data and charging cable, and a 2.4 GHz dongle for wireless connection is hidden in the top right corner of the box. The Kemove K68 is a 65% hot swappable keyboard with a sleek white design and low-profile linear red switches. The all-white design is both eye-catching and comfortable to use, and the matte finish is silky smooth. The low-profile design and gentle third of the linear red switches make for a satisfying typing experience. It's a great keyboard for everyday use, but it might not be the best choice for competitive gamers. And I'll tell you why. The smooth keycaps and slightly concave shape make it hard to press keys quickly and accurately. However, the 65% form factor is compact and easy to use, and it still has the essential keys, including the arrow keys, which makes it good for casual gamers like my son and for productive professionals like myself. The K68 also has a few features that are not immediately obvious. On the right side of the keyboard, there are two small switches. One of these switches is used to toggle between wired, Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz connections. The other switch is used to toggle between Mac and PC mode. The location of these switches is a bit confusing at first. They are located at the lower edge of the keyboard and they are flush with the surface of the keyboard. That makes them difficult to see, and it can be easy to accidentally toggle the wrong switch. However, that flexible wireless connectivity is the final cherry on top if you are after a work-focused device with a gaming edge. The K68 is good for customization. It's hot swappable, so you can easily swap out the switches to find your perfect typing feel. Before we check out the customization of K68, I wanted to share a helpful tool I found on the Kemove website, the P10 2-in-1 keycap and switch puller. I love the design of this practical tool, so let's take a quick look at how it works. As you can see, the end of the key puller has two traditional steel wires that can be flexibly adjusted to fit any keycap. The other end is designed for quickly locking the key switch. Simply press down on the switch to hold it in place and then use the other end of the puller to remove it. This makes it much easier and faster to remove switches, which is great for customization. I highly recommend this tool to anyone who owns a mechanical keyboard. It doesn't matter what brand your keyboard is, this little tool is a valuable asset for customization. It's also very affordable, making it a great value for your money. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with the switch types, here's a quick rundown. Blue switches are clicky and tactile, with a loud sound and satisfying bump when you press them. They are great for typing, but might be a bit noisy for others around you. Red switches are linear and smooth, with no tactile bump or click. They are fast and quiet, which makes them a good choice for gaming. Brown switches are a good middle ground between blue and red switches. They have a tactile bump, but they are not as loud as blue switches. They are a good choice for people who want a little bit of both typing feedback and quietness. Yellow switches are linear, very similar to red switches, but they are slightly heavier and have slightly shorter actuation distance. This makes them feel a bit more responsive and faster, but they are still quiet and smooth. They are a good choice for people who want a fast and quiet switch that still has a bit of tactility. Ultimately, the best type for you is a matter of personal preference. Try out different switches to see what you like the best, and if you don't like the stock switches, you can always swap them out. However, the linear red switches on the K68 are a dream to type on. They're quiet, smooth and responsive, with a soft landing that makes them feel luxurious. The low-profile keys and soft touch materials only add to the comfort, making the K68 one of the most enjoyable keyboards I've ever used. And because they're having a short actuation distance and fast debounce time and they are quiet, you can use the K68 in an office environment without disturbing your co-workers. The PCB on K68 accepts the majority of 3-pin and 5-pin clickers, and I found it to be very easy to swap out the various Sherry MX and Gateron switches. Now, let's test its connectivity. The K68 has 3 connection options. It can be used in wired mode with a USB-C cable. This is the most stable connection option, and it's also the fastest. When plugged in, the internal 3000 mAh battery is being charged. It takes about 3 hours to fully charge the battery from zero. The battery should last up to 200 hours in radio control mode and slightly less in Bluetooth mode. In wired mode, I obviously didn't experience any latency or connection issues. The next is 2.4 GHz radio control wireless mode. I'll plug that little dongle into my PC and see if it works. The keyboard is recognized by Windows 10 almost immediately, and it takes around 2-3 seconds for the keyboard to connect to the PC via radio mode. As you would probably expect, this mode is slightly faster than Bluetooth and it offers a slightly longer range. It also drains the battery a bit slower than the Bluetooth connection. I got my 7-year-old son to help me test it with his gaming and typing, and he was satisfied too. Again, we didn't experience any significant latency or connection issues in RC wireless mode. Now, let's try Bluetooth mode. You just need to turn the switch on the side of the keyboard to put it into Bluetooth mode. Let's connect it to iPad Air first and see if they work together. The keyboard can handle 3 different Bluetooth connections at the same time, and to switch between them, just press the function key with either Z, X or C keys. To reset the Bluetooth connection, you'll have to simultaneously press the function key with the Z, X and C keys and hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. Anyway, the typing is okay, there are no missing keystrokes, no latency and everything sounds good. Let's connect an Android phone now and see if it works as well as it did with the iPad. So far everything is working fine. Now the keyboard is being recognized as Kemove K68 and all I have to do is tap on it and pair. All done, now let's test it. Let's try some gaming now. I'll try a racing game, Asphalt 9 Legends. The keyboard is being recognized as an external controller, not as a keyboard. If this happens, all you have to do is unpair the keyboard and pair it again. This will reconfigure the keyboard and it will be recognized as a keyboard, not as a controller anymore. Now let's give it a spin. Now let's connect it to my iMac. First, I'll have to switch the layout on the side of the keyboard from PC to Mac. To be honest, I haven't experienced any issues with the Bluetooth connections and I've been using it with my iMac for the last week. The aesthetic of the keyboard doesn't really go well with the iMac, but what's good, the command keys are in the right place. Overall, I was very impressed with the connectivity of the Kemove K68. It's a versatile keyboard that offers a variety of connectivity options, and it's sure to work with any device you have. K68 is a great keyboard for anyone who wants a stylish and comfortable typing experience. It's not the best choice for competitive gamers, but it's perfect for anyone who wants a keyboard that can do it all. The function key is the key to all the hidden features on this keyboard. It gives you access to the F keys as well as the missing keys like home, end, print screen and media keys. The function key also controls the RGB backlights on the keyboard. For example, pressing FN and the slash key cycles through all the lightning patterns. Pressing FN and the square bracket key switches to custom backlight patterns. FN and the arrow keys left and right changes the speed of the light pattern. FN and the arrow keys up and down controls the brightness of the lights. And then FN and the right shift key turns the lightning into a solid color. FN and backspace turns off the backlight completely. Then function and caps lock changes the light pattern of the frame light, and that looks impressive. Pressing the FN and the tab key changes the color of the frame light. This is an amazing keyboard with a lot of features. To check the battery level, press FN and the left Alt key, and to enter into energy saving mode, press and hold FN and the spacebar for a couple of seconds. You could also create custom backlight patterns, but you have to use dedicated software to create them. In the software you could also create the macros and totally redefine the keys. As you can see, this keyboard is not a toy. It has all the features of a professional keyboard. The keyboard is available worldwide on Amazon. It has 4.8 stars rating and a bunch of glowing reviews. If you would like to check it out, please scan the QR code that pops up on the screen right now, or check the affiliate links in this video description. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that video and found it pretty informative and useful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you won't miss when the next video comes out.